Hi, it's Melanie. I am a transitioning lady and I have not fully transitioned yet. Um, I'm doing content for other people who are thinking about transitioning, who are early on in transition or are supporting someone in our situation. Um, if you're looking for like one of those videos, it's like, hey, this is how you can pass, or like, hey, these are the steps you take to get from here to there. This is probably not the right video or the right content. This is more to give an idea of what it looks like, what it sounds like as the transition happens, and get an idea of what to expect. Maybe some daily experiences that I have that may be beneficial to someone, things I didn't think about when I was beginning to transition, or maybe didn't have any experience to weigh like, hey, this is what I can do in that situation. I also don't make a lot of money. I'm relatively, I don't know where I'm at in the income bracket. I don't care to look, but my wife and I don't make a whole lot of money. We just work at a gas station. So basically, if you are short on funds, don't let that deter you from living your best one. So today's video is going to be about, I guess, signaling and referencing signal theory. And I guess the idea is that, like, I didn't have much to do today. I was just going to go to the weed store. I was going to stop at a gas station. So, yeah, I didn't have a lot to do. It's not like I was going to be at work for 8 hours and, you know, like, I didn't have a lot to do. So the point is like, I'm going to get ready for that. And I look in the mirror and it's like, no, I'm not feeling it. And so I decided, like, hey, you know what? I'm not even going to play with the makeup today. I did a quick shave. I even forgot to powder my face. I put, like, foundation on over where I would have, like, you know, fucking whatever it would, facial hair. Sorry, I stopped at the weed store. And every time I stop at the weed store, I make sure to, you know, take part. So I'm a little bit kind of, you know, stoned. So yeah, wherever I saw facial hair, I was like, okay, we're just gonna shave. We'll put some makeup over that. I forgot to powder. I put like a little bit of blush on, not much. And that's about it. I brushed my hair. Oh, and I put mascara on and like some lip oil. I didn't even do like a lipstick or anything. Just a little bit of lip oil. I did my mascara and I covered up my facial hair basically. That's all I did. And to the extent that I didn't give a fuck, I forgot to powder it. So, whatever. I don't care. And that's kind of the point, right? Like, so I have enough other signals. I wore my shirt out like this. So, like, again, signaling very much that I'm a lady. And I guess, like, I didn't want to put a whole lot of effort into getting ready. Let me try and stay on task. I didn't put a whole lot of effort into getting ready because I wasn't going to be out that long. I would have ended up spending more time in front of the mirror than I did actually, like, going out. And it's easy to look at myself and say, damn, my eyes are dark. I see a stark difference in, like, my color, whereas normally I blend it out a lot better. You know, like, it just is not, clearly I did not put a lot of effort into it. I could have brightened my eyes, like, that's definitely a thing. But as the more I thought about it, I was like, no, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. None of this fucking matters. And I bet I can get away with just sending some proper signals and I'll be fine. People won't misgender me. And I didn't get misgendered once. I got a couple looks from people, but I'm look worthy. Okay, fine. Clock me. I'm clockable. I'm living clockably. So it's okay. It's all right. But the point is that those people are clocking me because I'm sending the proper signals. I've gotten quite a few YouTube comments as well as like in real life comments from people saying like, oh my God, your hair is clocky. Like it screams trans. It screams trans. And I'm like, okay, that's what I am. That's the best I'm going to pass for. So I'm chill with it. I'm sending that signal though. As much as they're saying like, oh my God, look, it's a man. They feel the need to distinguish that because I'm sending the proper signals. They may not agree with trans people. For whatever reason that may be, like, that is cool. But as far as, like, my not getting misgendered today, it's because I sent the right signals. Not because I did my makeup so great. Not because, like, there's nothing I did. It wasn't the perfume I used. It wasn't how I walked. It wasn't my great passing voice. It was none of that. None of that made the difference. But all of those combined, all of these things, this is what I was wearing, right? Like, I've got very cunty fucking, like, I've got a purse. I've got a wallet inside the purse. When I open it, you see fucking, like, makeup products. There was enough of my face done that, like, the little bit of blush and mascara goes such a long way. A little bit of lip oil, right? Like, I didn't fucking do a whole lot. But those few signals, now that I've been transitioning long enough, I kind of know what signals, like, I don't need to do a fucking great eye. And I still have probably, like, I guess this isn't picking it up well, but I've still got glitter left over. That shit's like herpes. Once you get it on you, it's not going away. You may get rid of a lot of it. It may not show itself all the time, but it's there. So, I'm not trying to shame anyone with an STI, by the way. But yeah, it's like I'm sending enough signals that they go, oh, hey, can you help her over here? Yeah, she needs help. Can you come here? And that's kind of like, yeah, I'm sending the right signals. No, not everyone's going to respect those. And I guess the idea of signaling theory on a base level is like, there is a gap of information between me, the signaler, and the other person on the other end being the receiver. And by communicating or behaving or taking action, right? Like something that we do or say, or in my case, I'm non-verbally communicating these signals that will help them with that gap in information. Like if I did none of it, right? Like I didn't have dyed hair. I didn't have film glasses that I don't really need. I didn't like shave. I didn't do any level of lip. I didn't do any foundation. I just wore like neutral color clothes. Someone's probably going to assume, rightfully so, they would presume, not assume. I think assuming someone's gender is a poor term. I think we are presuming someone's gender, meaning that based on the data given, as in like what we see, and that's what all we can go on, right? Like when I just see someone on the street, that's all I have to go on are what they're, what I can see, and sometimes what I can hear. So that is a presumption. I have data that I'm basing that off of. I'm not just assuming for no reason. And if I leave people the proper, if it's like, if it makes sense that they gender me male, then I'm not signaling properly. And I don't have to do a great face. I don't have to do anything other than send base signals. Like my shoes being pink makes a big difference. They're a little dirty, but I do have them. I just think these are adorable. Like, really? Like they've even got bunny on it. Like, thank you, baby. Yeah, see, they're dirty. I haven't washed them since last week. I usually keep them pretty clean. And because I'm like mopping floors and shit like that, like they do get kind of dirty. And I'm in like the kitchen a lot, so it just is a thing. So about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, I'll go clean them. I did it a week ago and clearly need it again. Nails painted is another big one, I find. None of mine aren't painted right this second, and it's something I'm going to do this weekend. But yeah, sending signals makes a huge difference. And that also, my expectations should be set too. I'm sending enough signals that people feel the need to treat me different. Either like they just stare, right? Like, or, they might feel the need to misgender me. Or other people are going to treat me different, as in like they're not going to treat me like a male. They're going to treat me like a trans woman or a woman. So I think that all of those things are in my control, and it sets my expectations. And I can also use that to gauge, like, okay, is this person an ally or not? And that's important. I talk about support a lot on this channel. So to stay on task, and or I guess on task, to stay like, to not go into like a stoned blowout. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but I think people that are watching probably understand. Signals are everything, and even though my voice does not sound great, I've done enough, and I speak enough like this, right? Like, I raise my voice enough, that it's very obvious that I'm someone who's transitioning. I'm definitely not passing as a woman, and they don't believe that. They're not trying to feed into a delusion that I don't have. They just recognize that I'm a trans woman because I send the proper signals. Having a purse, the type of clothes I wear, my shoes being colored, like clearly I went out of my way to find these shoes and buy them. Nothing I'm showing them is man. There may be some features I can't control yet. All I can do is surgically control them. So, of the features that I cannot control, like, okay, so the features I can control, those are the ones that are fixed, right? So that signal that I'm sending out is all woman, 100% of the way. I don't know many men who have their belly button pierced. I'm sure there are. But typically that's a very woman thing to do. So just all the signals are there, and I don't get misgendered. Do I think I pass? Hell the fuck no. They don't think I pass. But because I'm signaling them, I'm filling in that gap of information that if I don't send the proper signals, I'm not going to get treated properly. And by properly, I just mean the way that I should be treated as a trans lady. They're going to probably treat me like a man, and I have myself to blame. Does that mean I don't give, like, room for people to misgender me sometimes? Like, even if they are being rude, a lot of times I don't fucking care. I just don't care. It doesn't make a bit of fucking difference to me. If they're going to do it over and over again and turn into harassment, now we'll have a problem. Now I might have something to say or do. And there is a major, major, major difference. You know, again, if it's a one-time offender and it's just someone I see one time in passing and they misgender me, like, go about your merry way, dude. Go ahead. Go ahead and imply that all people like you and me are the same. Just go ahead. I'll let you sleep on that. You know, like, it's fine. I don't feel a need to educate the world. The world doesn't have an obligation to understand or care. But just, I guess the point of this video is to help someone that, like, when I first started transitioning, I thought that, like, if I did my makeup a certain way, I would pass. Or if I had the right kind of hair, I would pass. Or if I walked a certain way, I would pass. And I was watching a lot of these videos that were like, hey, how to pass as a trans lady. And I think I took that very literally. I was like, you know, if I can fix my voice, I'll pass. And after all of this stuff, and I got better at doing my makeup, and I got a little bit better at doing my voice feminization. I have a better clothing array now that is, like, a lot more me. My hair is done in a very obviously feminine way. I have feminine glasses. I do, like, right, I'm doing all the things, but nothing was changing. And I realized that A, it didn't matter if I passed as a fucking cis girl, and B, man, here's the weed talking. Give me just a second. So I'll come back to it. But the point is that I realized, I'll just stick to the part that I do remember. It didn't matter. It didn't matter that I wasn't passing as a cis lady because it was outside of my control, and I was passing as a trans lady anyway. Again, much less put on us to pass as trans ladies. I can't believe I spaced out like that. Well, I guess I can. So I think it was something guava was the strand. I don't remember exactly, but it was something guava. But yeah, if I send the proper signals, I don't need to do all of those things that are in those passing videos. And I wouldn't put a lot of pressure, especially if you're early on. Like, this content is for people that are probably early on. Or if you're a supporter and you're talking to someone who's, like, having, like, expressing these thoughts, like, I just want to pass, I just want to pass. Bitch, so do I. So do all of us. We just want to pass. And that goes for cis people, too. No dude is walking around being like, I hope I get seen as a lady today. Because they're not trying to be seen as ladies. Some people may care less than others, and no women are going around going like, you know, I hope everyone thinks I'm a man today. That's not something cisgender women do. Even butch ones probably don't want to be confused for a man. Some of them might care less than others. But all of us are just trying to pass. Like, yeah, but we're trans women. We are not females. We try to pass as females, but we are always going to be trans women. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I don't say that as, like, a fucking knock against us. It's just true. It's very accurate. And I don't think there's a problem with that. I should not look down on myself for that. There is nothing fucking wrong with it. Even if I kind of wish I wasn't, and that I was just born a woman, or that I was chill with being a man. My life would be easier. I'd make more money. But I am trans, and that's chill. It's fine. I don't look down on myself for that, even if other people have some kind of stigma with it. That's going to age very poorly, just like racism. Like, it's going to age poorly because it's wrong. And that's fine for them to be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things. We all are. And it's easy to have, like, that kind of understanding. But in the same way that I'm going to have self-respect for myself, I'm sending every fucking signal that I am a lady. So if they're going to take that, I've filled in the missing information for them in signal theory. So they should know how to respond. That's the whole point, is that there's a gap of information, and we're trying to let others know how to respond. And if they're not going to respond that way, then that's their choice. Granted, I'm not going to, like, fucking lose my mind over it and fucking, you know, call the police or talk to their manager. Again, it has to be harassment before I start to really take it seriously or be discriminated against actively. Like, something has to be, like, withheld from me or not provided to me that's provided to other people, and that might be a spot where I also say something. But outside of those two very specific scenarios, I'm sending all the proper signals, and if they're going to be assholes, they're going to be assholes. I can't control them. I only control me, and I'm controlling the signals that I'm sending. So if, like, I guess to go all the way back to the beginning to cap this off, I used to get, like, a full face on. I would be going to the grocery store to get, like, a sushi palette or something. And that would translate to, like, I need to put on a full face. I need to put perfume on, right? Because that's what all these passing videos are saying. And I'm not saying these videos are wrong. Those are things you should all work on. And a combination of them is signal sending enough to be treated properly, or at least have the expectation be that people treat me properly. Now, I still expect for some of them not to. I still expect for some of them to be people. People are going to be people. It is America. They're allowed to have their views. Even if they are nonsense, they're allowed to have them. And I had a lot of pleasant interactions today. My bud tender, the person, that's what they call them at the weed store, bud tenders, the ones that check you out, is super nice. I have seen her quite a few times. She's super supportive. You know, she's given me access to, like, women's health information, for, like, getting, like, my weed card reinstated, because it expires every year. So I was having, like, money issues one time, and she gave me access to, like, I forget exactly what it was, but for women that are struggling to meet that bill, it helps them. And I got a really, really good discount I really, really needed. Hi, Mr. Kitty. Hi, little buddy. Him's a little stupid boy. I love this guy. Hi, buddy. He does not usually stay away from me very long. He's my little ginger stupid cat. Come here and say hi. What a sweetie. So, yeah, I don't need to do all of that shit. Just practicing on some of those things those videos, like, talk about. Just a bare minimum level. I just threw clothes on and maybe did, like, 20 minutes between shaving and my face. And I just chill. Could I do a better job? Sure. Do I really need to? No. So I'm not going to spend the time, the effort, the energy, the stress. It's okay. And I got misgendered less today. 0. There's a lot of days I don't get misgendered, but as far as, like, yesterday I got misgendered once. So I was in a full ass face. I feel a cut hair. I think I got it. Maybe. But anyway, I'm going to start cutting this off. I guess the reason why the grocery store trip kind of made sense to me was because it just was something I used to struggle with. And by sending proper signals, I don't have to spend fucking all the time in front of the mirror. So that would be my message today, is just send proper signals, expect people to treat you properly, and when they don't, move on. It's just that simple. Don't let them rule your life. Love you all, and I will talk to you sometime very soon.